Cecot Prison is a notorious and mysterious facility. Unlike any typical correctional institution, it is a place shrouded in secrecy, a labyrinth of despair designed to break down the human spirit and body. The prison is not merely a place for punishment, but rather a terrifying, almost surreal, experiment on control and survival. 1. Location and layout. Cecot Prison is located in a remote, undisclosed area, far away from civilization. Its exact location is a well-kept secret, as all information about it is highly classified. The facility is built deep underground, isolated from the outside world. It feels like a vast, subterranean city, with endless dark hallways and tightly packed cells, creating an atmosphere of disorientation. 2. Architecture. The prison is a dark, oppressive structure made of thick concrete walls. These walls are worn and cracked, reflecting the years of neglect and the passage of time. The cells are sparse, each one containing only a hard metal bed, a basic toilet, and a flickering light bulb hanging from the ceiling, casting long, eerie shadows. The design is deliberately cold and clinical, stripped of any comfort or humanity. There are no windows, no natural light, just a constant, artificial glow from dim overhead lights. The hallways stretch endlessly, dimly lit by flickering lights that barely illuminate the surroundings. The air is thick, and the silence is deafening, only broken by the occasional sound of footsteps or distant, indistinct murmurs. The maze-like corridors seem to loop back on themselves, with no clear direction or end in sight, creating a sense of entrapment and claustrophobia. 3. Oppressive atmosphere and suffocating presence. Cecot Prison exudes a stifling, menacing atmosphere. Everything within its walls seems designed to strip away any hope or dignity. The air is damp and musty. The smell of mildew and decay permeates every corner. The isolation and constant surveillance make every inmate feel as though they are under constant watch, even when they are alone. There is a sense of being trapped not just physically, but mentally, as if the very walls are closing in. The design of the prison is meant to disorient and disempower its inhabitants. The absence of windows and the lack of any natural light make it nearly impossible to keep track of time. Inmates lose all sense of the outside world, and their lives are reduced to a monotonous cycle of routines dictated by the prison's unseen forces. Being locked up with a gang is not the worst option. Trump signed an executive order. The expansion will be located in Guantanamo, Cuba, prisons on U.S. military bases, to resettle about 30,000 illegal immigrants. As early as 1903, the United States has indefinitely leased Guantanamo Bay. The current Cuban government, although unequal treaties are not recognized, but also unable to drive out the U.S. military. Guantanamo Prison was established in 2002. It is used to incarcerate people captured in the War on Terror. Thousands of suspects. Until 2025, 15 terrorists are still being held here. Most of the remaining space is vacant, just right for illegal immigrants. Except for the sea. It's a heavily guarded U.S. military base. There were minefields and barbed wire. Further out is Cuban territory. Because it is not in the United States, Guantanamo Bay is not subject to U.S. domestic law and the Geneva Conventions. It's a real lawless place. Run people locked here. How will you be treated? As you can imagine. But there is one advantage. 4. Control and surveillance. There is no freedom in Cecot. The prison is under constant surveillance, with cameras in every corner and guards monitoring every move. Every action, every word spoken by the inmates is observed. The guards move in and out of the shadows, never speaking much but always watching. Their presence is both felt and unseen, creating a pervasive sense of paranoia. There are strict rules that govern everything in Cecot, and the consequences for breaking these rules are severe. Inmates have very little personal autonomy. They cannot move freely between areas of the prison without approval, and the prison's layout keeps them isolated in small groups. Those in charge of Cecot seem to view the inmates as little more than subjects in an ongoing psychological experiment. Table tennis and other facilities are exclusively for security personnel. Since it started operations in early 2023, West Court Prison has housed thousands of prisoners. This includes many notorious gang members. President of El Salvador Bukele make a historic proposal, allowing the United States to enter this Central American country, detain prisoners. 5. Life inside Cecot. The inmates at Cecot are typically those with serious criminal backgrounds. But there are rumors that the prison also houses individuals for purposes beyond traditional incarceration. Life inside Cecot is a constant battle for survival, mentally, emotionally, and physically. The harsh conditions and constant isolation wear down even the strongest individuals. The prison structure encourages a sense of powerlessness and resignation among the inmates. Most become withdrawn, spending their days in silence or engaging in whispered conversations with fellow prisoners. Some prisoners, having been here for years, have lost all sense of time and identity, turning into mere shadows of their former selves. Others turn to violence and manipulation, finding ways to assert control in an otherwise oppressive environment. 6. Secrets and dangers. Cecot is not just a prison. It is a place of dark secrets and unspeakable experiments. Whispers among the inmates speak of strange, unexplained occurrences and hidden agendas. Some say Cecot is more than just a prison. It is a laboratory for human behavior, a place where the limits of human endurance and sanity are tested. There are rumors of prisoners who have mysteriously disappeared, or of those who returned from long periods of isolation only to act completely different, altered in mind, body, and spirit. Cecot is a place where boundaries are pushed, and the line between punishment and psychological warfare is blurred. It is a place where the question of whether escape is possible, or even worth attempting,